I entered Holy Trinity Seminary in 1966. I had graduated Jesuit High School, Dallas. My life was kind of an interesting thing. I was supposed to go to Georgetown for the Foreign Service School to be in the diplomatic corps, but God intervened and I decided to enter Holy Trinity in 1966. They had started the year before, 1965. It was interesting. I can remember I worked in the seminary over a number of the summers. The weekend before we were supposed to open, a number of the workers, well, they quit at 5 o'clock and that was it, but we still had furniture to be brought in, and we brought in all the different beds and the different furniture to furnish each room, and then all the little odds and ends, dusting, mopping, vacuuming, to get it ready for opening that following week. So we were put to good use, but it was well worth it when you see the final results. Well, the first rector was Monsignor Marr. He and I had an interesting relationship because I dated his niece in high school. So that was a two-edged sword in that regard. My neatest recollection of being here as a student at the seminary was just the camaraderie. We weren't allowed to go home other than one Sunday out of the month. I mean, you felt like, you were kind of captured in one sense, but at the same time, it helped engender a sense of camaraderie and fraternity with your brothers. I was ordained just 2 years, and so Bishop Shapey asked me to come on board and serve first as spiritual director, and then after a couple of years, then as dean. So it was a scary thing having been ordained only 2 years, but at the same time having the fresh memories of this place and knowing so much of its operations from ground zero on up made it a little bit easier in that transition.
Well, I think that his formation here was based upon his respect, his love of Christ, and love of humanity. He doesn't have a stranger in his life.
He showed a great admiration, at least from our viewpoint, that wherever he served, it was the parish first and he was second. He always was subservient to his parish because the parish he considered was his family.
And his family grew to be not only families and schools and universities, but when it came to young people who had a discernment for a vocation to the priesthood or religious life, Father Tom was there to encourage and help them discern.
Holy Trinity has truly brought out the wonderful human being that he is. It's amazing when you go into a large room situation and you talk to people and they're all best friends with Father Tom. It's quite unique.
I would say, for Tom, thank you for being such a wonderful family member to the Holmes family.
Thank you for believing in me, loving our family. Thank you for including me in your scope of who Father Tom Cloherty is. And that is such a multifaceted individual, but topping all of that off is the way that you exude your love for God and share that with everyone. And thank you especially for that. I hope that you realize how much you are loved and cherished.
Father Tom, thank you very much for being a priest and your commitment to your vocation as a priest.
And on behalf of our families growing still, we thank you also for your spiritual guidance. Whenever it's been needed, you've been there. Thank you.
The beauty is his experience with travel, and of course he shares that with everyone who travels with him and each person that travels with him.
Father Tom, we just want to close by saying we want to keep you your wonderful smile, your wonderful laugh, and remember, keep on traveling.
I think the gratitude I owe to those who helped form me And as I say that, I not only here at the seminary, but I mean beginning obviously with my parents. I was adopted, so my parents that adopted me, the priest and nuns in my parish of Christ the King here, at Jesuit as well, and then much less here with the most direct formation. The gratitude I owe for them, and I always, when it comes time for Mass and the intentions at Mass, I always kind of in my own mind and my own heart carry that sense of gratitude as I remember them in thought and prayer that way, because they laid for me a foundation that I was able to build on, and hopefully with that be able to, through my ministry, reflect the goodness of what they gave me by word and by deed.